Would you like to play a game? Welcome to a special spooky edition of the Silverbird Selection here on Halloween. Ho 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 ho! Hi there, thought I'd do something a little bit different and a little bit fun for Halloween. So today we've got a spooky edition, playing a spooky game which I've already loaded on the screen behind me. Normally I would show you the game cover, but unfortunately because it's so dark you wouldn't be able to see it. The game is Cauldron, which was originally released by Palace Software in 1985 and then re-released on the Silverbird packaging in 1988. Pretty rare game to find in this packaging on eBay. Luckily I bought my copy probably 8 years ago or something like that, and it only cost me £1. Nowadays I've seen it go for at least 10 quid, possibly even more in some cases. Some crazy people were willing to pay that sort of money for it. So let's take a look at the packaging and then take a look at this spooky game. So I've had to switch the light on for this bit, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see the packaging. And here it is. It's Silverbird packaging with the pink and black stripes, and as you can see they've taken the artwork of the original game and put that in the oval on the front there. Nice bit of artwork of the witch stirring a cauldron, and you've also got the logo for the game Cauldron at the top left there as well, and it's also on the spine. And on the back cover we've got the 4 screenshots as usual. These look like Spectrum screenshots to me. They're a little bit too vibrant for the Commodore 64 and also lacking in differences in colour, shall we say. And finally at the bottom there you've got the blurb about the game: "Hearken witches everywhere, take the challenge if you dare." Moving inside the inlay you can see we've got 4 exciting Silverbird titles, the screenshots of them: Night Gunner, Skateboard Joust, Rebel Star 2 and Hopper Copper. Only 2 of those games came out on the Commodore 64 and I'm pretty sure neither of those screenshots are from that system. Then if we move inside we've got the instructions. Cauldron, copyright Palace Software obviously, and then the game is just this rhyme which was in the original instructions for the game: "Hearken witches everywhere, take the challenge if you dare. Tomorrow night is Halloween when only one shall be witch queen. 6 ingredients thou must take, and in the cauldron boil and bake: juice of toad, eye of newt, wing of bat and hemlock root. Mouldy piece of splintered bone found from deep in a musty tomb." That's not very good rhyming, is it? "Molten lava cooked to wells, taken from the smoking isle. Then the spell shall be at hand to rid the pumpkin from the land." So not entirely clear what you're supposed to do there, although I think it's pretty well implied. We'll get on to exactly what that means when we play the game. We've then got the loading instructions as normal. And then finally we've got the mission. You play the part of the hag. You must fly across the land searching for keys to the underworld, avoiding bats, bouncing pumpkins, carnivorous plants and all manner of nasty creatures. Take off and land only on grassy clearings. Each coloured key opens only the same coloured door. Once you've entered the realm beneath you have to jump from platform to platform to pick up the required ingredient for the spell. And there we go. That's the instructions. Okay, so you've already seen I loaded the game, but just for the purposes of showing you everything about this product, here was the loading screen for the game. This was exclusive to the Silverbird version, such that it was pretty poor, just some text on a screen basically. So let's get back to the title screen, and as you can see we've got the Cauldron logo with the witch flying around. We'll have to bear with this a few moments. We've got some music in the background as well, being a bit spooky. Here you can see the witch animating backwards and forwards. Here's the credits for the game. Programmer Richard Leinfeldner, design Steve Brown, and assistance from Stanley Shembry, and the copyright there for Palace Software. And you can still see the witch flying around chasing a pumpkin around. And then you get some hints about how to play the game, basically saying you should plug your joystick into port 2 and then go and play the game, face the test, press fire and fly upon thy quest. And again you can see the nice animations on the title screen of the witch being chased by the pumpkins. Reminds me a little bit of Pac-Man, that. Can't remember if she comes back again. Nope, that's it. Okay, so there we go, that was the title screen. Very nicely done, nice animation, impressive looking logo as well. No complaints at all about the title screen. Let's now move on to actually playing the game. And this is where the complaints will start. So there you saw the witch's house and the indication. Let's just go back in there actually. You see the indication that you've got to collect 6 ingredients there. Each one will go in one of those scrolls. So you control the witch, you've got to find the ingredients and then take on the Pumpkin King or something like that. So you start with the witch walking on the bottom of the screen. Already there's bats hitting you. So the witch has got magic, which is indicated top left there below the score. The witch has also got health, which is actually the magic as well. So you can see I've walked into this little glowing area here at the bottom in the woods, and that restores the magic back up to the top. And you definitely need it in this game. So you can see the bats flying around. They drain your magic. Crashing into various things drains your magic. Just flying around actually drains your magic slowly as well. So there's lots of things that drain your magic. When you run out of magic, you run out of lives, or hags as they're described there. You've got lots of them to start with, and again you need them. We'll get on to why soon enough. So the first thing you've got to do is take off, and the one thing it mentioned, I think in the instructions, was that if you take off anywhere where there's trees or any objects on the ground, then you'll crash. Now I'm just going to demonstrate that, even though I will lose a life straight away. So I'm the witch walking along. If I try and take off on the broom here, then straight away there goes a life. You do then materialise in mid-air, and the first part of the game is kind of like a scrolling shoot-em-up, sort of Defender style. The landscape scrolls in both directions and wraps around ultimately if you span all the screens. So you fly along, and what you're looking for, there goes a life already. What you're looking for is keys on the ground. So we're going to try and find a key. That will then get me into one of the areas where I can get some of the ingredients. So you can fire, but when you fire that uses up your magic. So I don't tend to fire too much. What I tend to do is just try and dodge the enemies, and there's a lot of enemies. They all fly straight at you pretty much, and a lot of them hit you. Didn't notice if there was a key down there or not. Sometimes there's a key down here, sometimes there isn't. Yes, there is. It's a pink key there. So I'm going to aim for that key there. So the next thing I've got to do is try and land. And you have to land on a flat area with no items. You have to go in slowly and try and stop in the right place, then drop down, land, walk along, try not to get hit by the bats. And now I'm completely defenceless. I can't shoot anything. So if the bats hit me and drain my health or magic, then I'm in big trouble. Handily, I managed to get to the magic restoring sparkly bit quite quickly and easily without getting hit by too many bats. But you can see them all homing in on you. It's very, very tricky. So let's walk along again. I'm completely defenceless now, so every bat that hits me is draining about 15% health. So I've got to hope that they don't hit me, and there's nothing I can do if they do. So there we go. I've got a pink key, so I'm going to go and try and find the pink door to get in, get the item within the platforming section of the game. Just have a restock on the magic while I'm there, and then head off to take off. Again, losing more magic as I walk along. So while I'm getting to where I'm going and trying to avoid all these bats, I will talk about the graphics, which I think are really nice. Some of the enemies are a bit sort of single colour sprites that remind me of Spectrum type graphics, but the graphics and the animation for the witch, there goes another life by the way, really nice. The sort of a hair sort of blowing in the breeze as she's on the broom and things like that. The animation as she's walking on the ground, really good. The graphics for the trees and everything are quite nice as well. Here we're into a different area, sort of mountains and things that fire a load of pumpkins and things at you. Again, oh, there's the pink door, so I'm going to stop there, but I'm probably going to lose another life before I get there. Yeah, crashed into the landscape, there goes another life. So that's 4 lives gone already, I think. I've got to try and negotiate my way to land in this area here. There we go, managed to do it. So let's get into this pink door before more things hit me and drain even more magic. So here we come to the first platforming section. Again, pretty nice graphics, nicely drawn. Not really any complaints about that. There are enemies on the screen. Them crashing into me will drain some magic, and I can't fight them off. There's nothing to fight them with. The fire button now becomes a jump button instead of a fire button. And also the way the witch jumps is quite, well, let's have a look at it, shall we, is the best way to describe, best way to do it, I think. So there you go, that's how she jumps. She doesn't do a little jump, she does a big, long, arcing jump like that, which means if you mistime it, there's another life gone. If you mistime it, then you are going to land in a pool of water and die. So let's try and get this done as quickly as I can. Get the frog, there we go. This is probably the easiest of the platforming sections to negotiate, to be fair. So now, I don't really know whether you're supposed to take the items, there we go, there goes another life. I don't know if you're supposed to take the items back to the witch's house or not, but let's do that just to show you what happens when you do. So as you can see, this game is absolutely rock hard. There's enemies flying at you all the time. It's really hard to avoid most of them, although I'm not doing too bad a job right now. It's also dangerous to shoot them because you drain your magic. There goes another lot of magic. Sorry, there goes another life. Got one life left, possibly two. There's the witch's house. So now I've got to try and land in the forest. Avoid these bats. No, I've crashed into a little tiny bit of forest there, and there's another life gone. That was really annoying. Must be safe there, surely. So let's just dash over to here to top up my health again. Sorry, magic. Nice sound effects of the witch walking along on the ground, all defenceless. So let's make my way to the witch's house. It's here somewhere. There you go, so she's put that in the cauldron, and there's the frog. That's one of 6 items collected, and I've got no lives left. So you can see I'm not going to last too much longer. Just try and get to see a little bit more of the environment I'm in, but it's probably not going to happen, unfortunately. So the sound effect's not too bad. I like the footsteps. I also like the sort of spooky sound as the witch is flying. That's cool. The graphics are nice, as I've said. It's just so bloody hard. It's just painfully difficult. I think the best strategy is to sort of weave around like this. A lot of the bats come from the bottom, but there you go. There goes my last life. So I've completed, what, 1/6 of the game and run out of lives. Most of that was beyond my control as well. So there you go. There's the sort of poem at the end of the game. Quest has failed. Oh, and it's gone off the screen, but we'll see that again because I'm going to try and show a few of the other areas in the game just for demonstration of just how difficult some of the other platforming sections are, and to see some of the graphics for the other areas of the game as well. So I've currently got a full complement of hags. I've picked up the blue key, so I'm going to head to where the blue door is, which is in this graveyard. There's some nice ghosts popping out of the graveyard. They're not actually too difficult to dodge comparatively to the bats, although some of them fly in the back of you. So the blue door I think is coming up somewhere. I must have gone past it. That's interesting. I must have flown right past the blue door. Too busy focusing on the ghosts, I guess. There it is. Right, okay, so here's the blue door. See if we can land in the right place here without losing a life. No, that life's going any second now. There we go. It's really difficult to line yourself up. The sort of inertia of the broom just sends you past the bit, the safe bit for landing. So that's 2 lives gone now. I'm still not quite in the right place. That should be okay. Let's get into this blue door quickly. Okay, so this is where the platforming gets a lot more difficult. So I've obviously got to get onto the next screen. It's a flick screen platforming when you're underground, or in the buildings, or whatever you want to say. So I've got to try and get on this blue moving platform, and then get onto the blue platform at the top on the right hand side there. Also dodging this bat if at all possible. Well, that bit went okay, and so did that. That bit on the other hand didn't, because I jumped clean over the other platform because of the arcing way that the witch jumps, and there we go, the same thing again there. Let's try it one more time. Nope, missed it completely that time. Okay, one more go. And you can see you fast run out of lives when you're in these underground sections. Okay, that bit went okay. That bit went okay as well. Let's see if I can get down onto this platform without throwing myself to my doom. Okay, same again. Okay, I've now got to get across another one to get these bones. Not actually going too badly so far, but the problem is I've then got to get back again. Here you can see that skeleton. At any point if I jump onto this platform, that skeleton is going to hit me. There's no way to avoid that, I don't think. Okay, one more to go. I assume I can jump up there. Nope, and now I'm dead. And where is it going to send me? All the way back to the beginning. I don't even know how you get to that one. How do you get to that? You just can't jump high enough. Unless you jump right over to the one on the far right hand side. Which doesn't seem likely. Nope, missed it again. There's no way he's jumping to the platform. No, I don't know. I've only got one life left now, so I'm going to head back. But you're not going to see any more of the game because I'm likely to lose the last 2 lives. Yeah, so I don't even know how you get that. That just seems impossible to get. And that's what you get in a lot of the parts of this game. There's platforming sections that are just so difficult that you just can't work out what you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to negotiate the platforms. Got 1 life left. Let's just see if I can show you a bit more of the landscape. You get a bit more forest with some more bats. Some more pumpkin things. I'm probably going to run out of lives here. 1 more hit and I'm basically dead. And then you get out into the sea where there's some very angry seagulls. Also sharks, so if you swoop too closely the sharks get you, and if you stay in the air the seagulls get you. Then you get to an area where there's these volcanoes spewing out lava, and there's obviously red doors. I'm going to try and find a key. I'm going to have to play again to do it. Try and find a key for one of the other areas, just to show you a little bit more. There's a green key, that's for another area, but again that's another round gone. Quest failed, do not dismay, you may succeed another day. Reach the Pumpkin's deadly room to win thyself the golden broom. That's the ultimate aim of the game. So I'm going to have one more try and just show you hopefully one of the areas through a red door, and then that will do. So I've got a red key, I'm just heading over to this area which has got the red doors. Let's try and land here. Oops. Nope, there goes another life. I've only got a couple of lives left, so I'm not sure how far I'm going to get in this area, but just land in the right spot. Okay, that should do it. Head into the red door with my red key. Got 2 or 3 lives left, 3 lives. So you can see, I think you've got to get that glowing bit of lava about 3 platforms over. So this doesn't look that difficult. But let's see if that's really the case or not. It should just be a matter of jumping up here. It just looks too high to me. Yep, I think I was right. I think it's too high. So again, I just don't know how you're supposed to navigate that. Let's try something a little bit different. Oh, that's not what I had in mind. Okay, so I'm down to my last life now. Rapidly losing interest in the game anyway. Yeah, you can't make it to that lower platform. I was wondering if you had to negotiate round. So again, that's game over. I've seen enough. I think you've seen enough as well. You get the idea. The platforming sections are really, really hard. And the outside the platforming area, the scrolling sections are pretty hard too, with enemies just throwing themselves at you left, right and centre. So that's it for the gameplay. Let's go through the review scores. So firstly, packaging, it's not quite as good as the original packaging, but it does incorporate the image from the original packaging. It's one of the better Silverbird range packaging in as much as it's got the screenshots of the other games inside, and the instructions weren't too bad. So I'm going to go with 8 out of 10 for the packaging. Presentation I think is really nice as well. You've got all the scrolling stuff with the witch flying around, plenty of information, no high score table, which is a little bit of a shame. Other than that, I think the presentation is really nice. Pretty decent music as well. So I'm going to go with 8 out of 10 for presentation as well. Graphics are really nice too. A little bit of a shame that most of the enemy sprites, if not all of them, are single colour. But the main witch sprite is excellent. Most of the backgrounds are pretty decent as well. So I'm going to go with 7 out of 10 for the graphics. Sound I think is pretty good as well. It's not amazing, but the music's quite spooky and atmospheric, and the sounds within the game are pretty good as well. The footsteps of the witch and the sort of spooky flying noise when she's on the broom. So I'm going to go with 7 out of 10 again for the sound. And then that just brings us to playability, and well, as you've seen, it's absolutely rock hard, and it's a real shame because technically it's a really impressive game. You've got scrolling shoot 'em up sections, you've got platforming sections. The control of the broom is a little bit challenging but quite clever. You can speed it up, slow it down, turn it around. The jumping on the underground sections or the inside sections is really bad. There's just too many enemies and it makes it really difficult, and it's a real shame because, as I say, it's a good technical achievement but just too hard basically, and it stops being fun. It's not just hard because the enemies are difficult to get past, they just pop up all over the place and crash into you. There's areas where you can't defend yourself. It's basically just unfair, and there's nothing worse really than an unfair game. So I think it's really close to being a great game, but the difficulty just makes it borderline unplayable and certainly no fun. So as a result, I'm going to give it just a playability score of 3 out of 10. That gives it an overall score of 6.4. And for me, because of the difficulty level, even though it's a really nice looking game, especially for 1985, because of the difficulty, just not worth the $1.99 asking price. I just think it would have been massively frustrating. Although the more I've played it, I have got to grips with it a little better and lasted a little bit longer. But yeah, just really frustrating game overall. So that's my thoughts on Cauldron. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have a happy Halloween, and I'll be back with another game review soon, but of course there's a little bit more of the video still to come. That brings this spooky edition of the Silverbird Selection to a close, other than, as always, you need to help me pick a game to play in a future video. So this time the theme is ninjas or samurai, two interesting types of character from the Far East, and the two game choices are Ninja Master or the Willow Pattern. So let me know in the comments which of those two games you'd like me to play in a future video. I will play it in a future video. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Once again, have a happy Halloween, and I'll see you again soon with a less spooky video.